Okay, what's up YouTube? Welcome to the IOTA Bolt channel. This is Bolt coming at you with the first video. Tried to make this one a little interesting for you. Try to get your brain cells working a little bit. Just want to start off by saying this is not financial advice. It's just research that I've come across in my research for IOTA. I'm really interested in the network. Want to start doing videos on the ecosystem, things like that. So let's start it off. I named this video IOTA EU Energy Secret Weapon. Okay, let's see what we're talking about here. I'm going to start off with some, let's just start off with the price here. We see that the whole market's pretty much down still. You know what's going on with the wars. Crypto market's down, housing market's looking shaky, stock market's down. We're sitting at 28 cents right now, but let's move on. So let's get into some current events. All right, so I found some of these. Today's the 5th. So a lot of these are going to be from today, but they tie in pretty nicely with my topic. Okay. So first we've got breaking. Russian central bank and finance ministry agree to legalize cryptocurrency use for cross-border payments. I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty big. And let's move on to this one as well. The EU Commission spokesman, Russia could send more gas to Europe through its other pipelines to compensate for Nord Stream 1 closure, but is choosing not to. Also, this demonstrates weaponization of energy by Russia. So Russia's basically cut off the EU from its Nord Stream pipeline, which is one of the major sources of natural gas to the EU continent. So it's going to make things way more expensive for them to get that energy and that gas over to their side of the world. And they're claiming that Russia is weaponizing it by turning it off. And at the same time, they're saying, hey, but you can pay us in crypto if you want to turn back on. And let's move on to this one. This is still related to situation. So energy crisis. Sweden offers liquidity support to region's energy producers. So it's basically saying, hey, prices are a little extreme right now. We know there's a lot of fluctuation in the market. We know you may not have the money on hand to pay for all these energy needs for your countries. So we're going to allow you to we're gonna supply some liquidity into that pool to help you make that trade. And this is what I want to bring your attention to right here. Skyrocketing prices in Europe make it more expensive for utilities to buy and sell electricity because of the additional collateral required to guarantee trades on power markets facing unprecedented turbulence. Fortum Oyj said of neighboring Finland said earlier this week its collateral needed to trade on Nordic power markets rose by 1 billion euros in a week to 5 billion euros, not including the collateral posted by the German subsidiary Uniper. So it's saying that, hey, within a week, our power costs rose by 1 billion euros, $1 billion. That's insane. That's some fluctuating markets right there. That's some volatility, if you will. But let's go forward. What do we have here? This is a political article I found. EU plans to slam brakes on energy prices this week, so they want to put a price cap. They don't want to allow businesses to pay more than a certain price for their energy to help keep markets at a certain price. So what I found interesting was this part right here. The developments come after leaders from the parties in Germany's ruling coalition on Sunday finally agreed to back the European Commission's proposed electricity price levy for infra-marginal plants, that is, power generators not using natural gas. Because of the way the EU's power market functions, such as non-gas producers have been making huge windfall profits because the price of power is set by the most expensive input, natural gas. So all the businesses have to pay. The power prices are going higher because they're all pegged to natural gas, and now they've got all these sanctions against Russia, and Russia's cut it off, so they basically shoot themselves in the foot. Now they have to pay all these high prices for the gas. It's crazy. It's like they didn't think about that beforehand, but we're here now, so what are they going to do about it? And going on, I've got a couple, one more thing to show before we get into the main part of the thing here, the main part of the video. British Prime Minister, new British Prime Minister Liz Truss taking over for Boris Johnson. He just resigned. So she's going to be the new Prime Minister for Britain, the UK. And here's another post I wanted to bring up just really quick. Another post I found by Liz Truss from 2018, actually, where she stated the gig economy brings fresh possibilities to all kinds of people. Nearly 2/3 of those renting out their property on Airbnb are women. Break down barriers, policy exchange. All right, sounds good, right? She also says we should welcome cryptocurrencies in a way that doesn't constrain their potential. Liberate free enterprise areas by removing regulations that restrict prosperity, policy exchange, future freedom. Shake up. What she mean by shake up? Why she had the shake up? Is she saying that she wants cryptocurrencies to liberate us, to allow us to rent out our property, such as being Airbnb? So whatever you own, you can rent out. Okay, that's just some food for thought. How does it relate to IOTA? Let's get into it. Okay, so I also came across this article. Came out on August 30th, 2022, about 6 days ago or so. It's titled "Markets Essential for Driving Energy Transition" by Engie. Actually, you know what? This Engie name kind of looks familiar. Yeah. I think I remember this. 2018, I think. IOTA put out an announcement saying that they were working with Engie Lab for innovation in smart energy ecosystems. I encourage you to go through that blog post again. I'm just a run through of this is just detailing the relationship to continue a fruitful collaboration with IOTA. We wanted to strengthen our links with the IOTA Foundation. Many works and proofs of concept have already been realized in the lab, and we would like to participate in larger projects in France and abroad in order to concretize and extend the use of innovative DLT technologies like that offered by IOTA in different business activities in Engie. All right, so it keeps going on. It pretty much explains how the relationship would work. Basically, using IOTA as a research and development platform, help them create new systems through their business capabilities. Look what they've got. They're in energy sources, hydrogen, biogas, LNG, new energy uses in cities, the smart cities, buildings of tomorrow, smart buildings, emerging technologies, computer science, AI, robots, drones, nanotech, sensors, all of that. So we were helping them build solutions to better manage those new systems. Now let's go back to this article. So August 30th, mind you, this is 2018. And just to kind of drive it home, if you were to go to their website, you really don't see anything about IOTA. If you search, I just did a basic search. I didn't do any deep diving on the website or nothing like that. But if you just do a search, you don't see anything. They mentioned their activities. So yeah, they're into all of these renewable energy sources, thermal infrastructure, distribution, power to gas, storage, transportation. Okay, so they're into a lot of this stuff. They're major players in the ecosystem. So let's go back to the article. So this was a few days ago. It starts off, markets can play a key role in driving Europe's green energy transition, which itself should be accelerated in light of the current energy crisis, a spokesman for French utility Engie said on Tuesday. All right. It has been very fashionable lately to bash markets, but they are very much needed to accelerate the energy transition. So they are going through energy transition. It's pretty much guaranteed. They can't keep getting energy from Russia, as we saw before. It's getting cut off. They got to make changes. So what are the steps? The purpose of markets is to simply connect consumers with producers. That's the main purpose. We need that big time in order to be successful with the energy transition. So this is Vincent Verbecky, and just to let you know, he is still on the management team of Engie. If you go down, Vincent Verbecky still there. All right, let's go back to the article. So he goes on to say that means that sometimes there's too much wind. Or let me go back. Rebecca said on the production side, much of the new power capacity coming online was intermittent, such as wind and solar. That means that sometimes there's too much wind, sometimes there's too much sun, sometimes there's not enough of either, and electricity needs to be balanced at all times. He noted that markets provided the most economical answer for this. We need portfolio managers and traders to do that balancing in the most economical manner. And for this to happen, we need market prices. So pay attention to that. We need market prices. We need a new way to price these energy changes. Markets have played a tremendous role in the past, and if well designed, we will continue to play a tremendous role and will be a key enabler of the energy transition. All right. So further on in the next part of this, story, yet Dieterhelm, professor of economic policy at the University of Oxford, recently said that energy and water were too essential to be treated like any other commodity, and some of the architects of the privatization, liberalization, and competition paradigm believed. As some of the architects of the privatization and paradigm believed, it is not accidental that both the water and the energy privatization models have run into serious trouble. After more than 30 years, neither is fit for purpose, nor are the regulators, he told the Financial Times in an interview. He suggested that the price of electricity be tied to the cost of production, rather than always to the marginal cost of gas, which has enabled many renewable producers to make supernormal profits linked to the higher price of gas, while their own costs haven't changed one iota. Haven't changed one iota. I don't know about you. I live in America, so we don't use this phrase too much. I've definitely heard of people using like, oh, it hasn't changed one iota or something like that, but you don't really use that phrase in a normal setting. I believe that these people, these big names that are high up in industry leaders, economic policy leader, University of Oxford, he chooses his words very wisely. He knows what he's saying. I'm sure he's heard of IOTA, the protocol. I'm positive almost. Obviously I don't know him personally, but being that he's in this field, we can assume that he's at least heard of IOTA, I would think, being that he works for the University of Oxford economic policy. IOTA is pretty entrenched in energy, the industry sector in the EU. I'm sure he's at least heard of them once. So for him to use this word kind of raises a flag for me, honestly. I don't know about you. This is the point of my video. The European Commission now plans to present emergency measures within weeks to tackle an energy crisis with skyrocketing costs for households and businesses. What did we say before? What was that article? So right now they've got the price of gas tied to natural gas, basically shooting themselves in the foot. Like, they need to separate the natural gas costs from electricity, renewable resource costs. So how are they going to do that? So they warn that without good measures, it may cause more harm than good. Need to accelerate. They go back to NG's Rebecca saying that Europe needs to accelerate its energy transition, particularly in light of soaring power and fuels prices in recent months following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. So there we go. So the Russia war has sparked a energy crisis, and they need to change course. They need to change their infrastructure from the ground up. It looks like the urgency is really there. We need to push for more electrification, yada yada. This will be essential to bring the flexibility that is needed on the electricity grid. So why is this article important to me? I think it's interesting that they brought Engie, that we really haven't heard from in a while as far as connecting with IOTA, and then they connected with Dieterhelm. I don't know who this guy is. He's probably just a regular guy doing an article, as far as I know. But I think it's interesting that when we're talking about economical changes, infrastructure changes in energy sector, he uses this change, and it's pointed out. It's not like this is a quote. So haven't changed one iota. This is a quote. So it sounds to me like if he's saying the costs and the way things are going haven't changed one iota, that means he at least wants it to change by at least one iota. I only know of one, IOTA, that could help with that. I don't know about you. You can let me know in the comments if you know of anything else. But there we go. So there we go. So what else did I want to say? Now I know Rebecca didn't state the phrase IOTA specifically, but I think it's interesting that you have NG combined with the University of Oxford economic policy professor, and you have the EU mentioned all in the same article talking about energy transition and a need for a change, and the word IOTA is mentioned at least once. So I think clues are there. Like I said before, you know, they love their secrets. They love NDAs and ways of telling people without telling people. You have to read the clues. If you don't read the clues, if you don't connect the dots, you'll probably miss out. Hindsight is 2020. So things like this, where it's just one word mentioned 10 years from now, 5 years from now, could have been that calling card, that canary that kind of showed the hand. So with that being said, how does this relate to IOTA really? This smart meter for the mass market. What do you need? What do you need to help create that grid? What do you need to have meters that record that energy use? Where is it coming from? Where is it going to? How can we connect the energy markets, producers and consumers, without a regulated market with data that you can verify quick? You can't rely on your utility company to provide you accurate prices, because you already know they're going to maximize their own profits. But if you have a system, a decentralized system that connects all of the electricity grid that everyone can trust and move energy allocations efficiently, low cost, that's what you want to look for. So what they say, replacing regular electricity meters with smart meters is an essential first step towards an intelligent future power grid. It's the first step. You got to have smart meters. Although smart meters have already been rolled out in a large scale in European countries, they're still rare in Germany. Therefore, inefficient traditional meters dominate the market. They need smart meters in order to create this system to transfer data and electricity between consumers and producers. All right, so smart meters, you can read this article on your own time. If you want to dig deep, basically smart meters are what they sound like. They allow for automatic transmission of data, no need for manual interactions. They can be checked multiple times a day, cost savings, all of that right there. So it goes into why or how it's used. It uses lower WAN. There's just the low cost, low energy, high reaching or long reaching, long range communication connection with 5G, 6G is coming out. So it's all needed, and they need that foundation in order to build off of. You got to have a frame before you build, or you got to have a foundation before you build the frame. So the SUSE solution. So what is SUSE? It's secure sensoring platforms for smart energy grids. You can see who's a part of that. So what is SUSE? SUSE is developing a retrofit module for a wide range of commonly used electronic energy meters that not only enables meter information to be read via lower WAN communication networks and technology, but also applies to all regulatory requirements in the German market. So it's already regulatory compliant, and it works with your current smart meter. It connects to your current smart meter to allow it to connect to the wider market, which is what's needed. And with it being lower WAN, it's low cost. It's a module, so you don't have to get a whole new product on your building or anything like that. You just connect it to the one you already got. So it goes on. How does IOTA help out in this? Future smart grids will be able to profit from both IOTA smart contracts wait, hold on, go back. Future smart energy grids will be able to profit from both IOTA smart contracts and IOTA's experience in multiple smart city and decentralized finance projects. We know IOTA's and other smart city projects. If you look into Japan Project NATO, City Exchange, things like that. I encourage you to do some research on that. That's interesting as well. We can do another video. So it goes on to tell you how IOTA streams is used in the module. So it takes the data from takes that data into the module, it encrypts it with IOTA streams, sends it through the lower WAN network, and gets attached to the cloud and through the IOTA tangle. So you can look at that picture there. That's basically how it works. So it goes on. To say they're getting ready to start field testing. So we've got 25 devices that they'll use in Germany, the city in Germany, to test out the device and see how it goes. Well, if it's successful, we may have a real world IOTA use case in the foundations of a new infrastructure, energy infrastructure, which is amazing, which is groundbreaking, so to speak. It allows for small and mid-sized prosumers. Those are people that produce and consume the product, and where electricity can be purchased, supplied, and stored by anyone. That's what the smart meter is going to do. That's what the smart electricity grid is going to do. It allows you to create the electricity via solar or whatever power source you have next to your home. You can store that in a battery, and you can sell that data, or you can rent out that energy. You can rent out that energy or sell that energy, much like your girl Liz Truss wants. Welcome cryptocurrencies. Property like Airbnb, just rent it out like an Airbnb. You know what I'm saying? I got this extra energy, just rent it out like Airbnb. So currently all project partners are focused on the primary project goals and tech challenges that come with the ongoing pre-test and field tests. So they're currently doing that pre-test and field test. At a later stage, when the final product becomes more tangible, there'll be more focused on publicizing the project. Watch this space. So we're early, man. This is August 25th, so this is letting you know you're still early. Still early. And I wanted to leave you with one other thing. So since we're in the crypto space, we've heard of the use of cross-border payments, how cryptocurrencies can change the dynamics of cross-border payments. But has anyone paid attention to the phrase cross-border energy? I've seen that a lot pop up. Cross-border energy. And all of these posts, 2022, 2020, all of this stuff, 2019, around COVID time. Once COVID hit, they knew they had to make a shift. This was the time for the shift. They were waiting for some type of big black swan event to allow them to spark these changes, I'm assuming. Like I said, this is just research that I'm doing. You can do your own research, come up with your own conclusions. But look into this cross-border energy situation. I'm just saying, they're talking about all of this is shifting to a new dynamic for pricing, lending out your energy that you produce and you save. You can rent out, receive payment for energy. Just like cross-border payments is a quadrillion dollar industry, cross-border energy hasn't even started yet. The infrastructure is not even in place. And who's in the perfect spot to be one of the base infrastructure protocols in this new blockchain environment? I'll leave it at that. Welcome any comments. Feel free to like and subscribe. I appreciate you for sticking around. And I'll see you next time.